Hi, this is Kelly with Yoga on Main, bringing you your practice for today. We are going to start in a child's pose. I'm going to use some blocks to help deepen my child's pose. If you have them handy, they may be helpful during class today. So I'm going to place a block right in the middle of my mat. This is going to go around my chest, and then the other one is going to be for my forehead. So just kind of position the hips back, nice wide legs angled to the sides of the mat. Walk the hands forward and get this block so that the heart can really ground down. If that's a little too hard, if you don't have soft blocks, it may be helpful to throw a blanket over it. Good. Once you get that, the chin might also settle, and then you can bring another block for the forehead. You may need to change the position. So you're kind of making a little space. You can also redo the position of the block if any anatomy is in the way. All right, once you get grounded, make sure the whole forehead can really ground. Eyes closed, and then let those hands just melt towards the floor. Good, palms open. Good. So feeling supported. Often we'll bring our head down in our child's pose, but we don't often give our heart the support to really let go of whatever we're carrying here. A few long breaths help bring us into the space, let go of whatever we might be carrying onto the mat with us. Even if we're holding on to something quite intense or working through something, it's perfectly fine to place it off to the side, get some clarity, and come back once we feel renewed and refreshed in our mind and body. One more full inhale. As you exhale, we'll start to walk the hands back, slowly and gently pushing your way up. Good. Roll the shoulders back and down, and then just let the head roll around a few times. Any movement in the neck you need to open up. Good. Nice job. All right, from here, we'll draw the knees a little closer together. Sit back on the heels if that's comfortable for you, or you can come into a regular seated position, Sukhasana. And we're going to bring the hands out in front, interweave the fingers, push the palms forward. From here, really drop those shoulder blades, shake out the head and neck, and then start to lift the hands whenever you're ready. Good. Come to the point that you feel an opening in the shoulders and the neck. Keep the space around the head by continuing to move the head side to side. If the chin ever bumps into the shoulders, that means you're not dropping the shoulders enough. Keep moving those pinky fingers back. Bring the chin to the chest, and we'll hold for 3, 2, 1. Fling those hands apart. Release tension. Release what you don't need to carry on top of the shoulders. And let go. Good. We'll do the other side, interweaving the fingers in the opposite direction. So switch that weave. Palms push forward. And then rise up when you're ready. Good. Shake out the head and neck. So we can often feel like that tension in the top of the shoulders is really what they say when they say you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. So with tension in our world, sometimes seems like it's more than other times, but it's always there. You choose how much to take on. The more exposure you have to, maybe with your job, you're constantly hearing about those weights of the world. It's not uncommon for you to take on that stress by what you're exposed to, or if you watch the news a lot. Perfectly wonderful to be informed, but you're taking on all of that energy as well. Fling that out to the sides, what you no longer need. Nice job. All right, roll those shoulders back. Let's come into a tabletop position. Blocks can just be off to the side. As you place the hands down, we'll draw the knees together, and we're going to start by stepping the left foot back. Good. One leg is going to be extended. We're pushing through the heel and evening out the pressure in the hands and the shoulders. Lift the foot off the floor, and we're going to focus on isolating the movement in the hips by just turning the toes to point out to the side and then turning the toes to point down. So try that a few more times. Inhale as you open, and exhale. You're going to start to feel the backside or glutes, the back of the left hip engage as you do that. And notice if you're swinging your whole body back. Are you looking back? Are you letting your hips swing? Try to isolate that movement just in the hips, just seeing what that range of motion looks like. Good. One more just like that. Inhale and exhale back to center. Good. Let the toe rest, but keep the leg extended because we're going to continue to work with that leg. Good. Inhale, we're going to lift up. And then this time we're going to open up a little bit more. See if you can come up to the fingertips. Good. This time we are going to add the gaze, but not towards the back foot. That really lets our right hip swing out too far. We want to keep the gaze just looking to the side. If that feels good, you can add the hand up to the hip. Good. If you need some extra balance, extra support, you're going to bring the back toe down. Nice. So either back toe is lifted or on the floor. And then really focus on bringing those shoulders into that line, hips into that line by pushing the right hip forward. Might be a little wobbly. An option to add the arm. Nice job. We'll take a breath. And then slowly lower. Start with the hand, start with the shoulder, then the shoulders, and then lower the foot down. Great. That stabilizing hip, the right hip, the one on the back, might be burning a little bit, and that's normal. Knees together, and then we'll take the right foot back. Good. Lift the foot off the floor. Isolate the movement. Just start in the hips. We're inhaling to open. Let those hips swing open like a door and close them off. One more. Good. Rest that toe on the floor, but keep the leg extended. Even out pressure in the hands. And then we'll lift that foot again. Good. Open it up. And again, make sure you're not letting that left hip push back. You're kind of keeping it engaged. See if you can come up to the right fingertips. Good. Extend through the heel. That's going to engage that leg, make balance a little easier. And then hand can come up to the hip. Toe can always come down to the floor for more support. On this side, I feel a little less stable, so I'm going to add that toe. Good. Squeeze everything in. Tailbone tucks under. Option to add the hand. Shoulders really stack. We twist to open. And then maybe the gaze, head pulls back. Make sure you're not looking towards your back foot. You shouldn't even be able to see your back foot if your spine is really in line. Take 2 more full breaths. Find that space. Maybe even smile if you get there for just a moment. And then we'll lower down. We'll bring the hand down. Good. Intention is to lower down slow, but that may or may not happen, as we know. All right, roll those shoulders out. And we'll take a few cat-cows just to clear that out. All right, walk those hands back. Sit on the heels, or feel free to come to Sukhasana, and we're just going to do a few arm circles. So we'll start with our left side. Our right hand is going to come up right to the pec, the front of the shoulder here, and we're going to use that to stabilize as we make a nice big circle. Think about the most range of motion, the biggest range of motion you can get. Good, about 5 in one direction. Having our hand on the front of the chest, then we'll switch directions, helps us notice if we're just swaying with the arms. So is our whole torso moving back and forth, or can we really stabilize here and we let that motion happen? That's going to help increase our range of motion in that shoulder. Last one here. Good, nice job. And then we'll switch sides so that other hand, left hand comes up and find that circle. Good. And then other direction. You might notice some crunchy stuff, technical term, crunchy stuff, around the shoulders as you make those circles. That is very normal. And when you hear that, it means there's just buildup of tension, of stress in those areas. Any movement is going to help clear that out. Last one here. And then just roll those shoulders back and down. And get this feeling of that roll. Notice if you find some ease in the neck with it. We're going to try to find that same roll of the shoulders when we come into our downward dog next. So let's set it up. Walk those handprints forward. Spread the fingers wide. Push down into the palms. And pull the elbows back. So as opposed to the elbows being out to the side like you're going to do a push-up, you pull the elbows back and straighten the arms. Good. And then tuck the toes under and lift it up. Press that chest back and then start to create some rolls in the shoulders. So it's almost like you're shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears and then you pull them back and down. Good. One more. And then hold and breathe here. Last one. We'll take our right foot and we're going to place it under the heart. Setting up for a triangle pose, I suggest grabbing at least one, if not both, of those blocks. We're going to push the left heel towards the floor, pivot the foot slightly so that the heel kind of swings open, and then we're straightening the right leg. Pull the block in just to the outside of the ankle and straighten the right leg as you come into triangle. Nice job. All right. Roll the shoulders open and then use the right bottom hip to push forward. Nice. From here, you can stay with the hand on the block. You might need to come up a little higher, or you could stack one block on top of the other. It's going to give you lots of space. And then we're going to pull the shoulders back till you can look up, finding that triangle pose. So you want to feel like the hips are stacked in a line and the shoulders are stacked in a line. Good. If you can see your back leg, even if your gaze is forward, you should not be able to see your back leg. Good. If you see your back leg, that means the right hip is swinging back and you're rounding the shoulders forward. Great job. Take one more big inhale. Use that top arm, push into the feet and lift up. Good. All right, we're going to pivot these left toes to point straight forward. Good. And then a little bit of balance required in order to come up into tree pose. So a few ways to do this. You can come up onto that right toe and kind of tap it in. Or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, try to land right into your tree. So this may or may not happen. You may need to add a little step in to come into your tree. However you get there is wonderful. And then add in your arms if you'd like, drawing in that awareness to the center line of the body. Focal point. Feel free to deepen, or if you're still working on that tap, it's just a tap down and placing the foot up. Try to hold that foot up longer and longer each time, and that may or may not happen. But each time you tap down, you're giving yourself that grounding sensation and then adding the practice in to bring it back up. Take one more full breath. Balance challenge is to step right back out into triangle pose. If you need a little bit less, then you'll tap that foot out. One big inhale. Step it out. Nice job. Straighten out both legs. We're going to come back into triangle, this time from the standing position. So even out the hips, both pointed forward, and then slowly start to deepen. Again, don't let that right hip swing out, almost like you're trying to push your hips forward. Good. Block on the outside of the ankle. Top arm lifts. Take an inhale. We're coming into half moon from here, so bend the knee. Walk that right block. I'll move this one just to be able to see. Walk that right block, not in front of the pinky toe, but about a foot in front of the pinky toe. So way out there, and then step up when you're ready. You can tap the back foot back in. The other leg is balancing this time. Hips are stacked. Shoulders are stacked. And then gaze is focused, pushing through the extended heel. Reach out in all directions. Added challenge is to add the gaze up. We'll take 3 more breath cycles. When you're ready, bend the standing knee, step back. Good, nice job. Bring both hands down towards the floor. Step the left foot forward and release it out into your forward fold. Wiggle the legs, shake out the head and neck. You can add a little sway side to side. Good. Take an inhale, about halfway lift, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold. Walk back into your downward facing dog, so root down into the hands. Step those feet back, pedal out the legs, and we'll try the whole thing on the other leg. From here, we'll start to roll those shoulders back and down. Get that sensation of releasing the shoulders away. Take an inhale, step the left foot forward. Right under the heart. Good. Grab your block outside of the ankle and then push the right heel down. It's going to swing open a little bit. Good. From here, straighten out this left standing leg and then pull the right arm back like you're pulling back on a bow and arrow and lift it up. Good. Check in here. Front knee can be slightly bent, but it would be better to come out of the pose, straighten it out, and then decide where you need to be. Good. And again, straight is not locked, so you pull that kneecap up to keep that micro bend, and that keeps from overloading that knee joint. Eyes can be wherever feels best for you. We're going to take about 2 more breaths. Keep the left hip scooping forward. Last one. And then use that top arm, pull up. Good, nice job. All right, hands to the hips. Pivot the right toes to point straight forward. And then we're going to come up onto the left toe. So either a big step or a few little steps will bring us into tree pose. Eyes focused. So our hips and our shoulders are square. We gather in through the center line of the body. And we soften. Relax the shoulders. Tune in to all that's happening in your body at this moment. A true representation of the present moment. All those little subtle sensations. Good. Instead of thinking of, yesterday I did tree pose, I balanced better than today, all that other stuff that goes on into the mind, bring that awareness back into the body, a little bit more grounded. Take 1 more full breath. Relax the muscles of the face. Slight bend in the standing knee. Step back out or tap back out to triangle. Nice job. Hands on the hips for that awareness. Both hips pointing forward. And gently lean over into your triangle pose. Hand down. Top arm up when you're ready. Good. Find that space. So we look for space to reach up and reach down, but we also want lots of space on this underside of our left hip. We don't want to be just collapsing here. Good. Take an inhale, and then we'll bend the left knee. Again, our block doesn't come just right in front of the pinky toes, but way out, and then tap that back foot in, slowly lifting up. Half moon pose. Good. Pull that hip back, just like we did in the beginning of class. We push both hips forward. We pull the top shoulder back and bottom shoulder forward, and then we reach up and out. Active in the legs. Gaze can be added if you choose. Steady breath. Two more. When you're ready, bend the standing legs, step back. Both hands come down. And then step forward, forward fold. Nice job. Good. We're going to take about 3 sighs out through the mouth in our forward fold. So we lift up, we come about halfway up, flat back, gather in as much air as possible. Open the mouth, sigh, and hang. Inhale. One more. Nice job. Any variation of your forward fold, so you can hold on to the calves, the ankles. You could do your peace fingers into your yoga toe grip. Choice is yours, what feels best for your body. Let all of that heaviness we carry in the head and the shoulders, in the neck, fall towards the floor, giving it down to the earth. No longer needed to hold all of that weight just on our shoulders. Let's share the burden a little bit. Last full inhale. When you're ready, we're going to roll up nice and slow. Take your time. Make this the slowest thing you've done all week. We rush throughout our day. This is nice and slow and controlled. Very last thing to come up is the head. Steady right between those shoulders. Nice job. All right. We're going to bring that energy down towards the floor. Taking one last posture with the shoulders to open up, and then our Shavasana. So we're going to set up 2 blocks. They might be both on the lowest level, or this one that's going to be under the head. Feel free to change the level of it, okay? All right. The goal here is to get this block right around the middle of the block. So we want the middle of the back. We want the bottom edge of the block to hit kind of where the center of your back is, or if for ladies, kind of where the back of your bra would be. And that's a good gauge. So when you come down, bent knees, core engaged to support, and then lower back down, and just position that block in the best place for you. Again, you want it middle of the back, so not up by the neck and not digging into the low back. When you extend back, let the arms go out to the side and lift the shoulder blades up and over to fall into that space. Good. The block under the head supports the back of the head so that the neck can stay long. So you don't want to be here, but you also don't want the head to have to drop back here. Okay? When you get there, let those arms extend out. Again, the shoulder blades should fall into the space. We want them to just kind of give into gravity a little bit. If the low back is bothering you here, you're going to bend the knees and let the knees fall together. If that's okay, if the low back's feeling okay, try extending the legs out. Good. So this is a great posture release for the shoulders and upper back. If you drive a lot or you sit in front of a computer a lot, we naturally find that rounding forward in the spine. This helps reverse that. Can also add an ease into the low back. Open up the front of the hips, lots and lots of benefits. Let the breath slow down. You've challenged the body, challenged the mind to stay focused. Just let the pose be. Not trying to control anything. If a thought comes in, let it come in and let it go just as quick. At the end of your next exhale, we'll start to bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. Good. You're just lifting up enough to release your props from out under the back. So push into one elbow, kind of roll to the side. Slide those blocks out of the way. And then come right onto the back again. That's where you enjoy the dessert of the pose. That release of having the back flat on the floor. Good. Once you get there, find any movement that feels good for you, so you can let the legs just kind of drop side to side. You can pull them in towards the chest. Circle them around. Nice job. And then get set up for your final relaxation right from this relaxing pose. So again, low back issues, you're going to bend the knees, let the knees fall together and rest here. Otherwise, nice and flat on the floor. Feel free to support the body. Pillow, blocks under the knees can feel nice. An eye bag or a blanket to cover you up. Give yourself all that you need to truly release, even if you only get to release for a minute. That sense of ease washing over the body is important no matter the time that you're there. Feel the back of the body just soften towards the floor like you were to be laying in a meadow. Feeling the earth kind of gather up around you and hold you. Feeling completely supported here. Take another breath or two in through the nose. Slowly release through the nose. And then even let go of the controlled breath. Slowly wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll out the wrists and ankles. One by one, bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. Slowly rolling onto one side before coming all the way up to sit. Thank your mind and body for the work that it's done, for giving yourself the opportunity to set off to the side all that we do, all the tasks, all the responsibilities, and just focus on yourself. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.